whether it's a job, relationship, an environment where you're under stress. You have this honeymoon experience where you're learning, you're growing, and the adrenaline is present. That's stage one. Then comes the onset of stress. So now, not all stress is bad, right? Stress is what makes your muscles grow. Stress is what causes you to reach higher heights. Dissonance is a cognitive stress. It's what happens when you set goals and you aspire to things. It's a good thing. Then what happens is the onset of stress that isn't properly balanced. And again, in the next episode, I'm going to give you all the solutions on how to beat burnout. I'm going to talk about how people don't get burnout at all. But when you have the onset of stress and it becomes perpetual, which means the stress just stays there, like the burners are on the whole time. Sometimes the burners go up higher. Sometimes they just stay there. But eventually, it's going to happen. And we all know the famous story, the frog in the pot, right? You boil water and you bring it to a boil and you throw a frog into the water, and the frog gets such a shock from the scalding water, it jumps right out of the pot. But if you put the frog in warm water and you put the heat on simmer and the water grows just incrementally hotter, the frog doesn't really notice the difference, and in an hour or two you have a cooked frog. Now, the animal rights people, it's not my analogy, so don't send me the emails. In fact, send them to David Lally. David loves all that stuff. So you can send that to our producer, David Lally. He loves the animal rights stuff. I'm using the analogy that you get yourself cooked. And the greatest example of burnout is that. Have you ever heard the phrase, I'm fried, I'm cooked? That's because burnout doesn't stop. The onset of stress, it becomes chronic stress, and that chronic stress leads to burnout. That's stage 4. Believe it or not, there's a stage beyond burnout, and I know about this, and it's called habitual burnout. And habitual burnout is you get so used to the demands and so used to the feelings of burnout that you learn how to live with it. You find all kinds of artificial ways to kind of band-aid around your energies in your life, and you end up habitually burned out. So, let me talk to you about my situation, and maybe by being transparent with all of you today, it'll help you to figure out maybe if you're stage 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5.